It was talked about on, was it Reddit that started this?
Yes.
Okay.
Um, well, Reddit had caught somebody who posted about this on Twitter.
Okay.
They had posted some screen grabs of this, and essentially just Blizzard has been picking random players to send out a survey about some of the monetization for Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
And one of the screen grabs that this person on Twitter had captured was a question regarding the premium mythic grade skins.
Right.
So rarest of the rare, just the absolute cream of the crop skin, probably just looks super shiny and whatever. And in this particular screen grab of the survey question, the question was, would you be willing to pay $45 for this skin?
Yeah.
And I know my first reaction was like, Lord, no.
Yeah. Right. But let's also be fair, okay? Yes, but we're also not deep into Overwatch. We're not, and my initial reaction, of course, was the same as you. Is like, fuck no, I wouldn't pay $45 for a skin. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But if you are playing Overwatch all the time, all the time, and you want to bling yourself out and you want to look superior to others by having that really good looking, because if it's that much more expensive, you're expecting it to be really good looking. So like if you have a really good skin of Moira and it looks sick as hell, you'd be tempted to buy it if all you do is play Overwatch. So as much as Will Ball can say fuck no, I could see someone who's really into Overwatch saying, yeah, that's worth the investment. Sure.
Yeah, and in this particular thread about the Overwatch survey, some of the other example pricing that was being spitballed was the legendary skin bundle, which would include a weapon charm, a player icon, a victory pose, a voice line, a name card, and then a graffiti spray. There was a question saying, "Hey, for a legendary skin bundle, would you pay the price of $29.99?" And then there was a follow-up question saying, "Okay, well, what about just the legendary skin alone at the price of $24.99?"
Mm-hmm.
And then something called a emote highlight intro souvenir for $20, and then a weapon charm being priced at $10,
Okay.
and then a bundle of three graffiti sprays for $5.
Huh. Okay, so basically the survey is just to gauge basically what the user base feels about their current pricing that they're coming up with their skins. Because this is going to be the way they're going to be making money off the game. So they need to make sure that they have the pricing just right to where, let's say, I don't know, a certain percentage is okay with spending that amount of money. Look, like I said before, me and you, who don't play Overwatch religiously, are going to look at it and say, hell no, I'm not paying $45 for a skin. But we're not the target audience here. The target audience are people who are still playing Overwatch, who are excited for Overwatch 2, will play Overwatch 2, will constantly play Overwatch 2, and will basically invest their time and money into that game. So, yeah, even if, and here's the rub here, a lot of you, and rightly so, are going to say $45 is ridiculous for a skin. But if, I don't know, 5% of the people that are polled said they're okay with it, the skin's going to be $45.
Yeah, and this is where things get a little bit interesting. So, somebody on Reddit had posted that they also got this Overwatch pricing survey,
Okay.
and it seems like whoever gets the survey is being offered random prices to give feedback on. So, in this one person's particular example, they got asked a question of how would you feel about a mythic skin being priced at the price of $14.99 rather than the price of $44.99? And then another question was, would you be willing to purchase an epic grade skin for $4.99? And then another question that they got from this random pool was, how would you feel about an emote being priced at $1.99?
Okay. Let's the emotes and stuff. I don't care. Like whatever. Like sure. If the emote's cool, I can see someone spending $2 on it. Who cares? Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you do a survey that randomizes the amount of money for a specific item? That is stupid, because the point of a survey is essentially to get enough data to show if the one idea or one question that you have, what is the sound response to that question. It's like polling. Like, okay. Polling places don't ask a question for one group and then ask a question to another group that's completely different from the preceding question. They want to know what people think of that specific question and what their answer is. And that is essentially what the surveys are supposed to be for. They're supposed to get information to where you have an idea of what you want. Is this a good idea or not? Would you engage with that? If people are starting to realize that, wait a minute, so I don't have to pay $45 for the epic skin, the mythic skin. You're offering $15. Well, no, I'm not gonna pay $45. I'll pay $15. That's ridiculous. Because once you give them the option of, hey, actually, how about 15? Is that okay? Or no, you don't have 45. How about 15? How about 25? They're gonna go for the lowest price. Like, by essentially doing that, I mean, you essentially just ruined your whole poll and your whole survey, because now people are going to know that, they're going to offer less anyway. So obviously not. I'm not going to be okay with paying $45 for a skin. And some of you are going to probably say, hey, it's a survey. The people who are on it were not supposed to talk about it. It's supposed to be a private thing, so you weren't really supposed to know. People talk all the time about these surveys. It's kind of they say they don't want you to talk about the stuff in the survey, but if there's something interesting in the survey, people are going to share it because they're not legally obligated to listen to who's doing the survey. Because unless they sign an NDA or something, there's nothing legally a company can do. See, the tactic of randomizing the amount of money for that specific skin, I think, is so counterintuitive. Because now that people know, they're going to say, I'm not going to pay anything more than $15.
Yeah, and I mean, just if they had a consistent survey, then at least they could get a bell curve. They could go, okay, so for this question where we're asking if people would be willing to pay $45 for a mythic grade skin, we're getting a bunch of no's. We're getting some not reallys, and then you've got maybe a handful of people kind of on the fence, and then you've got like another small handful who are just like, hell yes, I will drop that amount of cash so quick. Yeah. So I mean, that's where just it makes more sense to just have a 100% consistent survey throughout. But yeah, now that people have essentially spoiled the question pool, yeah, you're just going to have anyone who gets that survey question of, hey, how would you feel about a mythic skin for a whopping $45? Yeah, they're just going to flat out say hell no, and it's going to really screw up their samples, especially now that the cat's out of the bag of, hey, so how about $15 for a mythic? Everyone's just going to go, hell yes, that's exactly the price I want.
Yeah, so like even if let's say someone did the survey and they said yes to the 45. Then they go to Twitter and they say, oh, wait, there's people getting $15? Fuck that. Then they go on Twitter and say, yeah, I said 45, but I want 15 instead. Now your entire base is, now the entire answer is useless. Because now you've just essentially said, like, to the customer, oh, the only reason why it's $45 is because we're greedy as fuck, and we know you're going to pay for it if you didn't know any better. So, yeah, that's... And when you let that out of the bag, you're essentially going to get people who are going to resent you for doing it. So, basically, the survey pretty much says for them to make a profit, 15, I think, is really the least they need to do in order to make a profit on that skin. And 45 was just taking the piss, apparently. So, yeah, like that's a terrible idea, man.
Yeah, a real head scratcher on why they would do that. But
Yeah, like that's an awful idea. And then you know what's going to end up happening, Zero? Okay, you're going to have $15 for mythic skins, and then there's going to be epic mythic skins, and those are going to be $45. Like, I could see that happening because they screwed this up.